Okay. Okay. Okay.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Hey, thanks for
You look
having me.
gorgeous.
Stop.
Wow.
Thank
And
you.
your background is
Oh
mesmerizing.
my God, thank you.
Thank you so much,
This is the
Veronica
library
Frey.
of my building.
It's the library in your building.
It's so nice in here.
Do you use it a lot?
Not too often, but I think I have to now that I'm like here. I like how it looks on camera, so might have to use it for a couple things,
You should. It's beautiful. It's
right?
such a nice background.
I feel like,
Welcome.
huh?
Welcome to Making the Mask.
Hey, thank
Um,
you.
So we're really excited to have you here. Our goal for this interview series and what we want to do is learn more about your journey to social media. And we know that building a brand, in a sense, is kind of like building a mask and a representation of yourself and choosing the parts of you that you want the world to see.
Right.
So in this interview series, our goal is to kind of understand what it's like to build the brand for yourself while we're also sort of like unveiling the mask.
Yeah.
Each question we kind of go deeper and deeper, and then at the very end, we ask. It's a hot round question, so the questions are a little bit spicier, and more
Ooh.
fun.
Okay.
But we
Okay.
keep it, we keep it respectful and chill.
Okay. Okay.
But
Perfect.
I'm really happy to have you here for a few reasons. One of the big reasons I wanted you here is because you're a musician, you're a
Yes.
singer, you're a songwriter. And you also, I've heard you a few times on this app give people really good advice around marketing.
Oh,
So
okay. Thank
yeah,
you.
so I noticed that you had some marketing knowledge too. And so I was just really curious about your story and how you landed on Favorited and how you decided to get into social media. Can you maybe just start with, when did you decide that you wanted to invest your time in such a big way in social media? How that all started for you?
I think for me, I've been on social media since like it became a thing. Whether I think it was like I think it was through Twitter. That was like my first like jab with social media, like back in the day, like when it first came out. I used to go to a lot of concerts. And it was a way for me to stay in touch with my friends. And then over time, as I got older and became like a, more of a teenager, and I knew that I wanted to do music, I kind of started using social media in the same way that some other people I've watched use social media, like YouTube,
Hmm.
and pioneering their way like through those channels to kind of build an audience. I didn't really know much back then, but it definitely sparked my interest to keep going, if that makes sense.
Thank you so much,
So
guys. Okay.
this so the starting point for me definitely was very early on. I was probably like 15 and I'm 29 now, so
And
it's
you
been a
always had
while.
public accounts.
Yeah.
You were always very curious. You were always like in the know, and had all the social media platforms basically from the start.
Yeah, I would say so. I was definitely very into pop culture
Oh,
and very
really?
into just, yeah, definitely. Especially when I was younger, I used to love going to, like I said, a lot of concerts.
Mm-hmm.
So pop culture kind of gets integrated into that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
So
When did it become something that you decided to do as something you wanted to use more as a tool, and maybe building a brand, and when did you realize that you could use it to make money, and to promote and advertise your music and other projects maybe that you work on?
that's a good question.
So from social to like becoming a tool.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for becoming a tool, I was definitely like, I would say my interest started getting peaked when I was like just starting high school. But like 10th, 11th grade is when I think I was starting to transition into like, how do I use this as a tool to market myself? Because I was still such a newbie online, but also music was always like, my main thing. So I was already recording like covers here and there and posting them. And I don't know if anyone here recalls this particular event. So YouTube used to have a lot of different like connections to different events. Like if you were voted to have the most likes on your video, you could potentially perform for this show or that
Mm.
show. There was something called a teen hoot competition, and that was my first run in, I think, with really utilizing real life and social media to get a push to try and be on like a show. So Teen Hoot was like a festival of like YouTubers that got to perform in Nashville. So that was like a pretty
Oh
big deal
wow.
being a 14-year-old girl, or what is 14, 15-year-old girl in New
It's
York. I'm like,
amazing.
yeah. So for me, I was like, okay, I gotta try this out. So they basically wanted you to upload a cover of you singing a song and saying what it's really for, and just go from there. So I did a cover in my basement. My mom helped film it. I had like a microphone and everything. And it was, I believe it was Lady Gaga's song, You and I.
I
Yeah,
love
it
that's a
was
good
that one. Yeah.
one.
So that's the
So
one that I
that's one you
did.
belt out too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that was kind of my I got to thank my parents really, especially my mom. She's a singer as well. So she really kind of helped me prepare for that performance, so to
We love
speak,
to
you
shout
know.
out moms on here.
Yes, yes.
So
Shout out
shout out
mom.
to Mama Frey.
Yes, we love
Hey
Mama
Mama
Frey.
Frey, we love you.
Yeah. Um but yeah, she really helped me get that like all prepped, and then had the chance to I had the chance to also kind of like promote around my high school at the time, which was so nerve-wracking for me because I'm sorry, but I was bullied as hell in
Really?
school.
You were?
I was, but whatever, it is what it is. But once I kind of started promoting the music, it kind of did change. There was a dynamic change, which is effed up in a lot of reasons that we can get into another time. But like, that was just such a cool moment because there was like a ripple effect and everyone was liking and sharing my video from my high school, even to other high schools where my friends were going to. So kind of like the local community started pushing me out there.
So you
And
were using music to maybe escape a little bit of the local community, and then through music, they
yeah,
ended up actually seeing you in a different way, and it maybe
yeah.
opening doors for you socially in a sense.
In some ways, yeah. In some ways, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I
that's
think people
cool.
still didn't really understand back then
Mm-hmm.
that social media can be a tool where there can be influencers, musicians, stuff like that. It was still so new, like I'm talking early 2010s, So that's like when everything first was coming out. MySpace, best space, yeah, Chaz. Um, but what was I gonna say? Uh
Well, you said that the local community was actually really helping you, and they were
they were
starting to. But how old were you when this was happening? When they were starting
I was
to?
15. I was
Wow, you were
15.
very
Yeah.
young. And so at 15, you were already on social media and
Yeah.
using it
Yeah, I
to promote your
definitely
music.
was. Yeah, 100%. It was such a cool experience for the Teen Hoot competition in particular because I wound up being in the top 10, but I didn't move past the top 10. So
That's
obviously
incredible.
I didn't get to do the Teen Hoot competition, but it's something that I got to do. And I think it helped like start me to build a little more confidence to be putting myself out there because a lot of my friends could tell you in high school, and at least in the beginning, I was very shy. I was a very quiet kid. I mean, I was bullied a lot, like I said. So it definitely was like stepping stones to getting out of my comfort zone. So
We'll get
that was
into
like
the
my
bullying a little bit later too.
sure, sure.
We don't have to get super into it, but I do want to
Yeah.
ask you a few more questions about it because I think it is interesting, especially you being a musician.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and having had to deal with bullying from an early age, I can imagine that that's very uh informative probably in some of your in your writing. So
Right.
okay, so when did you make the switch from social media to streaming, to from content creation to streaming?
So I still do both. And
Okay.
my first like experience with live streaming goes all the way back to Periscope. So like old days, like
Oh, I
what was
wasn't
it?
born.
2000.
I'm kidding. No, I'm probably older
Stop.
than you.
Stop that right now.
Kidding. I'm
I'm
kidding.
pretty sure we're the same age, aren't
Yeah,
we?
no, I'm kidding. I definitely was born, guys. I'm just
Nah,
saying that to make myself feel better. It's fine.
you almost put a dagger in my heart with that one.
Yeah.
I almost had a mini heart attack, so thank you. Um what was I going to say? So
Periscope.
Periscope, yeah, that was like what it was associated with, I believe. Yeah, that was like what, 2012, 2013. So I started there and then I heard of You Now because I had other friends that were doing You Now. So I did You Now for like, I think 2 years. I
Hmm.
wasn't super consistent, but I definitely did it for a while. And then You Now transferred to doing Vine. So, I kept going back and forth between live streaming content, live streaming content, live streaming content. So, but live streaming always piqued my interest. I really liked that I was able to connect with a crowd like
Hmm.
in live time and give up a part of me that typically people wouldn't see on a normal day-to-day basis, you
Which one
know?
do you think is more difficult? Content creation and having that become popular and get likes and views, or streaming and becoming a strong, successful streamer?
I think both things have their difficulties in a way, but in my opinion, I think content creation is not as simple as it used to be. I think everything now is about knowing the right sound or using the right quality or things like that. But also that's the one aspect of it. But on the other aspect of it, I feel like it's so much more randomized now to where there's almost no algorithm.
Mm,
That's my personal opinion. But to me, it seems like nowadays there's not really a real algorithm. It's almost like by chance, or depending on what people are looking up, it'll show up in
mm,
your feed, you
hmm.
know? So it's kind of like you have to play with and curate your content to that. So my final answer for that one is definitely going to be content creation.
Okay.
Probably
Yeah,
what your
because
friends
that
are
one you have to
exactly
stay on top
saying.
of, the algorithms, understand what's popular, and make sure that you're staying ahead in all of those ways, where opposed to just turning on your
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah, and tying this into being a musician, it gets so draining because you have to be your own marketing person, your content creator, your promoter, your own musician, your own songwriter, your own everything as an independent artist. It's kind of crazy. So I would definitely say content creating is much more difficult to me at least than live streaming has. It's always has been. But I
Yeah,
feel like
I
still they go hand in hand.
to me it seems, and I'm not someone who's invested in content creation a lot. I'm pretty new to social media and doing it for myself.
Right.
But it seems to me that with live streaming, people understand your personality and get a sense of you faster in a deeper way.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so it seems like you're almost buying time with live streaming in a sense, because people really get to see you in a different light quicker,
Exactly,
in real
exactly.
time.
Mhm.
And I also appreciate that it's something where people have that anticipation and that wonder of when you're going to turn your live stream camera on again. Uh,
Exactly, yes.
like in comparison to just being able to watch your videos over and over again, they have to wait to see you live, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Did you sing on your streams when you
Yeah,
first started?
so
Okay.
yeah, so on when I used to do, when I started out with, You Now, that's what I did mostly. I just was on my mom's computer downstairs in my basement, and I would just sing, just tunes. That's what I would be doing there. But as So to also kind of tie this in, like I said, I started on You Now. I took a big break. I went to college. I did a lot of different stuff, and I kind of was more focused on music. I didn't even consider streaming again because for me, this was before it was mobile. So for
Okay.
me, or at least in the States, it wasn't really well known or introduced.
Hmm.
So I didn't really do it. And then the pandemic hit, and I was reached out to by somebody to try out a brand new platform. And I was like, I mean, I do have that background. That's how they remember me. Should I try it? Should I not try it? But I did. And I'm glad I did because it opened up a wide, wide door to
Wow.
live streaming platforms that are mobile.
Mm.
And let me tell you, it's so crazy because there all these platforms are so different, right? And
Hmm.
it's so cool that I personally have had the chance to try out. You name it, I've probably been on the platform.
And pretty
And
early, it seems.
Yes, pretty early.
Yeah.
The platform that I started on in 2020 again was called Hakuna. They're not available in the US anymore or the
Mhm.
UK anymore, but they still have other servers. But it very much so reminds me of like Favorited. It really does. In a lot of ways, just because it's a smaller community, newer, just a lot of different things that remind me of that app, which is why I think I'm so drawn to being on here more than the other platforms. Someone in my chat, Johnny, he was on the other platform with me too, and he says he agrees that this kind of reminds him of Hakuna. But
Have you always been pretty curious about other when other platforms come onto the market?
yeah,
Curious to try new technology, and are like always willing to sort of make sure that you stay in the flow of things?
I basically yes and no, because I feel like there's so many apps trying to compete. There's plenty out there. But for me, I think I'll what I would do is I would give it the benefit of doubt and I would always download an app first. And I would give like myself like a week or two to kind of just investigate. See who's on the app. Figure out how gifting works. How does it work when you're a creator on there and a live streamer? All of those intricacies. So I really try my best to get down to the nitty-gritty of it, so just to
Hmm.
understand the platform. It's almost like learning another language. Because
Definitely,
some
I agree.
apps are very, very, I would say some apps are not as user friendly as,
Hmm.
for example, Favorited. I think Favorited is super user friendly. It's just to the point. Everything's right there. Some apps, I'm not going to name them, but some other apps, they're not as user friendly. You really have to learn the ins and outs of it to really be confident on there as a host. So yeah, I would try out.
And they reward different things, it seems like their algorithms reward
Yeah,
different
yeah,
things. So you're right, it is like
yeah.
learning a different language. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's some fun in that, but then like I said, I don't think that every app is a winner. For some people it might be their MVP and what they love doing. Power to them. For me, I'm the same. For me, I
Mhm.
find what fits me, and yeah, so I stick to that one.
So that's cool because okay, so your music career and your interest in music, and I guess you started spending a lot of time in music at a very early age, and you were
Yeah.
always on social media. So for you it was very natural that you were already on social media. You had a deep passion for music and you thought, of course I'm going to use social media to get this out there. I'm already on social media, and it started to work pretty well for you.
Yeah.
And you were streaming kind of that whole time. When streaming became a thing, you tried it out and started doing it. Did you come onto Favorited right when it was available to the public, or when did you download the app? Pretty early on.
So technically my 365 days would be like literally like this week.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's when
Happy
I
anniversary.
huh?
Happy almost anniversary.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, so it's been almost a year since I've had the app.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of it as early as last summer, and I never had like the time to download it. I was either doing something or working on something because I also used to have a live streaming social media like agency. So that took up a lot of my time. So I was like, right now I need to focus on something else. So never had the chance to download it until, like when
See,
I
I
did.
knew you had a marketing background.
A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I feel like
So
it's all though, like it wasn't from schooling or anything. It was all just self-taught, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
of course. That's amazing. Did you were you able to come onto Favorited with a little bit of a support system from another app?
Yeah, so like I said, once Hakuna came around in 2020 and I started doing that, I did a lot of different live streaming platforms, like you name it, I've done it, been on there. I've also in that time being cultivated what I call the spam fam. That's my family, like people who come to my lives, watch me. So if you're in here, hi guys. But I started like Discord
Mm-hmm.
community, and it's turned into this really nice blossoming community, and I'm just
That's
really
awesome.
grateful to have it.
Hmm.
because they've really stuck by my side through thick and thin. And, some people come and go. Life happens
So
to
wait, you
all of
met, where
us.
did you meet them that then they went to Discord?
Like whatever live stream platform, whether
Oh,
it's
cool.
TikTok or the live stream platforms, I'd always try and put everyone into one place so
Yeah,
that
that's really
they know
smart.
where I'm going, what I'm doing.
Yes.
Johnny says spam from original member. Yes,
So
we love
Discord
that.
is the central, and that's where you
Yes.
share with your tight-knit community where you'll be available.
Yeah, so and it's pretty intricate. Like it's not just about me, it's about them as well. Like I have, my normal announcement channels where I announce like either new music posts or like when I'm going live and stuff like that. But then I also have other channels such as like where people can share photos of their day-to-day life, and we could share highlights from my live streams where people can take like screenshots of that or screen videos, whatever they want
That's
to do,
cool.
or their pets
So it's like a
or
friendly,
food.
it's like a friend group chat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And then
awesome.
we
I love
also
that.
have game nights, we have movie nights. I haven't done it in quite a while, so I'm sorry guys, I've just been so immensely busy this past year, but I'm hoping to
It's
give a
been a
little more
crazy
time
year
when
for
I can.
everyone. I feel you.
Girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I think
Yeah,
that's
for
something
sure.
everyone at Favorited can agree on. It's been a strange year, guys. Um,
Hmm.
so that's cool. So you did come here with a little bit of
Yeah.
community and support.
Yeah.
So how did and you started streaming right away when you
Yeah, I would say
okay.
I like downloaded it and like maybe a day or two later, I was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna try to stream on this platform tonight.
Okay.
Can you check it out?"
What'd you do?
And
What were your streams like in the very beginning?
so
Did you
I'm gonna be
co-host with
honest.
people? What'd you do?
Yeah, so before I even like did anything, I went around to a couple of lives and I saw that some of my friends from TikTok were on here. So I was like, let me battle them real quick. And let me tell you, it was crazy because I still kind of planned it out a little bit. I was like, oh, midnight they reset ranks. What a good way to be seen than by starting fresh at the day. Because if I get
Hmm.
any kind of support at that time, we'll be at the top of the ranks and people could come in, see me, see my community. And if they want to be a part of what I do, then they can stick around and hang out. So that's kind of what we did. And I was mind blown because my people, whoever is here, if y'all remember that, I was like number 1, number 2, like that very moment that I went live. And I
Wow.
mean, I didn't really understand how it works still at the time, like ranking wise and all
Mhm.
that. So I didn't really take good advantage of it as the way that I would probably have now. But
That's a really
um
good, by the way, I don't
stepping
mean to
stones.
interrupt you, but it's you guys, it's a very good example what she just said about using the ranks and the charts, the gamification to your advantage, right? As a
Hmm.
marketing opportunity. So I know some people on this app will make comments once in a while, just a little bit of a cynical comment here and there. Who cares about the ranks? It's just a popularity contest. It is what you make of it. You can choose to make it a popularity contest, or it can be a really good opportunity for you to be a billboard for you. So
Yeah.
that's really cool that at reset, if you're doing well, people see your name and they have a chance to come into your room and see what your vibe is, and that's how you get a new follow and someone to return. That's really cool that you got that right away though.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like if I pulled up screenshots, it was like I was just mind blown because also I didn't know the conversion rates on here. I didn't know that it was more than other platforms. So I was like, oh my gosh, like this app reminds me so much of another app I used to be on. And I don't know, I really feel like I resonated with the people on here, with the people that were coming into my lives. And I've made
How
some
did were you
amazing
consistent right
friendships.
away?
No. And that's why I don't know how many days I'm at right now. I'm at 300, probably 20 something days. That's why I'm not at my 365 because I wasn't consistent. And on here, I'm at 329 days. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Adam. Yeah. So I was not consistent the very first month. And
Mhm.
once I figured out how everything works, I was like, darn. But I was consistent ever since. So,
Do you think that is important to be consistent? What do you have to say about consistency on this app?
so consistency is going to be important no matter where you are on social media, whether it's posting content or like live streaming.
Mhm.
Um, as someone who used to have a social media live streaming agency, the number one thing that I would tell any client that I would ever work with, whether they were a beginner, intermediate, or master at their craft, I would always sit down with them in our Zoom call and I would be like, look, if you really want to take this seriously, you're going to have to be consistent. And I call this the two C's: consistency and community. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot build a community without having consistency. And your community cannot come around if your consistency isn't on one level. If it's up and down, you're going to be on a roller coaster. That's exactly what it's going to be like. And you're not going to be where you want to be. And you're going to see other people and be like, "Ah, how do I be like them? What do I do?" You don't have to be like anybody else. You got to be yourself. Your crowd will find you
Yes.
if you just get on.
Hmm.
The biggest factor and the biggest person standing in your way is going to be yourself if you don't get on. If you don't get on, you're never can't speak. If you get on, if you don't get on, oh my god, words are not forming tonight. If you don't get on, you will not know what you can build.
Hmm.
And if I would have never taken that step to stay consistent on any of the apps that I was streaming on, there was no way in hell that I would have ever built the community that I have now. And I'm so forever grateful for the people that stuck around, because them sticking around helps me stay accountable to stay consistent. And the consistency, I think, will turn around in turn and create that community, you know? So,
I love what you said too about being yourself, because I think a lot of times on social media, you'll see people who are in the ranks regularly, and you may want to compare yourself to other people. But what's so interesting about that is that those people already exist.
right,
And so they have a community, but no one can be you. You're the only person who can be you, and who has the unique set of experiences and
right.
personality traits that you do. So you're right. The toughest part is just putting yourself out there on a regular basis and
Hmm.
showing your true self. But that's a really good reminder. I love that, you guys. Yeah, just be authentic and be yourself, and people will always find you. How
Right.
long being a live streamer did it take for your room to be, consistent, to have a regular consistent group of people in your room, and maybe to be in ranks more regularly? How long did that take for you?
Do you mean on here or
Yes,
just in
I'm
general?
here.
So on here, I was, like I said, I was pretty lucky from the start because I already had a community from elsewhere. But if someone was to be starting out, my biggest advice is mingle, network, go meet new people that are live streaming who know what they're doing, hang out, get to know people the best that you can. Just kind of put yourself out there a little bit. And if you're live, you know, not everyone likes to battle. And I've never been a battler or done battles or anything until I got on this platform. I like battling, not for battles, but for the networking, for meeting people like you. Like I that's why I do it, because I love to interact with people. And that's like the number one reason why I do it. I could sit here by myself and chat with people, no problem. I, I sing, I do all that stuff. And I'm planning on returning that. Yes. So my friend Sydney in the comments said that's how we met. That is how we met. So, and that goes to my second
That's
point. You meet
amazing.
so many great people
Yeah.
networking, whether it's music or whether it's friends. Like,
Mm,
it is what you make it, which is what you
yes.
said earlier as well.
So you're saying basically make sure that you're making your rounds and you're getting to know different people. You're not
Yes.
sticking to just one small group on here, and on
Yes.
social media in general, because I think it's easy
Yes.
as humans, we want to be comfortable, and stick with the group that we know. But it's important to get out there and meet new people and
Yes. But it's
ask them for
also,
advice.
yes. But it's also, I think, very important that you do, okay, I hope this doesn't come off as negativity because that's not where I'm going with it. You
Thank you.
definitely have to keep a little bit of a guard up. Don't
Mm,
be yourself, but don't be an open book. And what I mean by that is protect your
mm,
privacy, protect your
mm.
personal details. Don't give out, oh, I'm walking around in Orlando, Florida down this street, because realistically, you never know who's watching. And that that is the other part of it, is this is social media. It is a public platform. So as much as you can build community, you can build all that stuff, you
Hmm.
always and you can do all that stuff, you always have to just make sure that you're not giving too much
You
information
need
out.
the
Does that
mask,
make sense?
baby. Sorry.
Mhm. Just a little bit.
Just a
Just a
little
little
bit.
bit, just a little, like, peeksy
Right.
poo. Like, a little bit, just kinda sit here like this, yeah.
I think that's good advice. I think that it's very easy when you're a live streamer to completely forget boundaries. People do all sorts of things on live stream because it's your real life. So I think it's easy to forget that this you don't realize who's always watching you. So it's good to protect yourself and keep that in
Yep.
mind.
I'm a
Did
veteran of that.
have you so your live streams always been you interacting with your chat? Is that
Oh,
how they became successful on here?
the number one thing for any live streamer, not just for myself, interaction comes first. Everything else is secondary. So me,
Okay.
I am a singer, and although that is my MVP, it is what I do. It's my main core thing. Without interacting with others and without interacting with the people who are coming to watch you, there's no live stream. People are coming into your live because they're interested in you, but they also want to make sure that they feel appreciated for being there. And if you're ignoring them, then what are you doing?
You're very good at that.
You
I don't
know?
think all live streamers are, at varying degrees, I guess. But I have
Mm,
noticed while being on this app that you're very good at interacting with your chat, and giving them genuine responses, and taking
I
your
appreciate that.
time to ask everyone questions. I think it's really important. Um, and it makes it more fun for you that way too.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
otherwise it's just not fun to use social media if it becomes monotonous, if you're not inspired, then for me personally anyway, it
Yeah.
makes me not want to come on as much.
No,
So
100%. You're right on the money with that. That's totally true because I mean, would you rather sit here and watch someone who's like this and it's just like, all right, guys, it's one galaxy. We just need one. Or would you rather be with somebody who, yeah, they could get competitive and stuff because this is the nature of the platform, but they're sitting here and interacting with you and you're like, yo, how's your cat doing today? Like whatever the case may
it's
be,
so
you
true.
know?
No, it's
Like
true.
like yeah, and
Yeah.
for me personally, I feel like I've gotten like so good at it. Like when I was just home, my mom like saw me sometimes like doing live streams. She's like, "Geez, you talk like a mile a minute. Like, are you not tired? Like, how are you
It's
keeping up with comments? How are you keeping up with everything?" And I'm like, I don't know. I've been doing it for so long that to
like
me
a
it's
muscle.
become it is. It's like muscle memory.
Yeah. Did you ever rely on social media as a form of income, or has it always just been a tool to promote your music?
I'm very open about this. Yeah, this is my full-time income. So doing everything I do on social media from live streaming to posting content, it's to, releasing music, everything, all of those things combined into one is has always been my form of income.
That's
So
incredible.
yeah. So, and I always tell people like I have friends who even messaged me actually last week asking me about like starting live streaming and curious about it. I'm like, just do it. Just try it out. If you want, I'll come into your lives. I'll help kind of get them along because I'm very used to that with onboarding people that never streamed before and then suddenly they shoot up to be great streamers. One of my really good friends that I've met through a mutual friend, she signed to my agency back in a day that I had and we were on this platform. She's never streamed a day in her life. First month, she's new, rusty, and I'm helping wherever I can. By month 3, she was our top one host, and she was one of the like I
Wow.
think like 10% of the streamers that were on there in the United States. And I'm like, girl, you go,
I I think
girl.
it's really beautiful that you're the type of person that you like to build people up like that, and that it gives you joy to watch. I think that's a really beautiful quality to have as a person.
I appreciate
So
it.
it's
I genuinely love seeing my friends and even people that I don't know succeed. I love it because,
aw,
like, I'm sorry, but there's room on the table for everybody to
there
eat. It
really
doesn't
is.
mean give everything out. It
Sure.
doesn't mean rip yourself out to the point where you're not taking care of yourself or watching out for yourself. but there's room for everybody. It's
Mhm.
social media. There's so many ways to make money on social media, whether it's through live streaming, through content creation, through affiliate marketing, through so many different channels. And to sit here and be like, gatekeeping, so to speak, for people
Mhm.
that don't really understand and want to get into it, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, you're still going to be making the same amount of money
Yes.
you're making, if not more. So what if someone's making, started it and is making more than you? Good for them. Maybe they're doing something that you
Yes.
could even learn from them as
Let
well
that
and
inspire
build each other
you.
up.
Hi, Becca.
Exactly.
Yeah, let that
Exactly.
inspire you.
Exactly.
That's a
Exactly. And that's what
very
I do.
good point. That was like gold that you just dropped, by the way, guys. It isn't the way you see things. So Veronica is a type of person where she enjoys building people up and she sees it as, hey, someone's doing a lot better than me. What can I learn from them? Or even if
Right.
not, let's just celebrate people's wins because when people around us are winning, when people are doing really well on this app and other apps where we exist, that helps our ecosystem. That's how we all thrive. Someone said to me the other day, they said, I'm kind of nervous. Like, we better build our people before TikTok shuts down because once TikTok shuts down, no one's gonna, how are we gonna survive on here? And I said to her, I see it in the opposite way, which is that the TikTokers are gonna bring their supporters, and their supporters are gonna see my live, and they're gonna become my supporters also. So I think it's interesting. It's all in the way that you
It's
see
all
things.
perception.
It's
It's
perception, and typically when there's jealousy or gatekeeping, or I think when we become jealous, and we compare, it really is just like an internal insecurity. We're afraid about something within ourselves.
right.
That's typically what it is. But I do think at your young age, it's really amazing. You're successful and you're someone that I look up to. So I really want to thank you for being so free with your knowledge and your help on here. Not everyone is
You're
so
so
willing
sweet.
to help
Thank you.
people. No, it means a lot because you were very cool with me as a new streamer too. And you can tell by people's energy, whether us new streamers were either nervous and we're timid and we're a little bit shy, or when we run into seasoned streamers like yourself where you're so willing to just like give out a hand, and it's such a good feeling for us because sometimes we may be a little bit afraid to ask for help, so it's nice running into people that genuinely enjoy it and find it fun to talk about. And it seems like you're really good at seeing others potential too, which is a really beautiful thing to have as a skill.
I really appreciate you saying that. And also to like kind of bounce off your point of like when that whole TikTok shutdown was happening, people were literally panicking of how am I going to build my followers?
Yeah.
Social media does not stop at TikTok. So even if TikTok goes away, there's so many other platforms. And that's another that brings me to another point of something that's really important to remember for anyone that wants to do content creation, live streaming, whatever it may be. And I'm going to hold everyone's hand when I say this. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And what I mean by that is you do not want to just fully solely rely on one source of income when it comes to social media because God forbid that platform goes away, it gets sold, it shuts down, they stop working with your country, whatever the case may be, you need to make sure that you have your security. So as much as it maybe could be more work, it's not as fun, have your
Hmm.
have your eggs lined up, not
Yeah.
in one basket.
Very smart.
Keep it here and there, keep it here and there. And that's something that I've learned very early on, once I started my agency again. Like I keep going back to it. The agency doesn't exist anymore, guys. But like um once I learned that if you keep all your eggs in one basket and God forbid, even as an agency, oh well, they're cutting agencies. What are you gonna do then? All of your clientele just got dropped because the app is no longer doing agencies.
Well, if you're smart, you've been keeping them in one central place like a Discord,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, which you can, but like if you're only working with one app and you don't have anything else set up, you're screwed.
No. And
You're
so
done.
that's really smart. That's what I did. So I wanted to only stream, but I thought I'm already in front of a camera. I'm now public facing. I may as well have TikTok and other have my interviews exist on TikTok and on YouTube also.
Right.
Um So, guys, make sure that if your face is already out there, you're utilizing other social media platforms so that you're never only relying on one platform and giving that one platform all of the power um, to direct what the money that you're making on social media, but also the way you're able to use it as a tool. So it's cool
Exactly.
that you're on all platforms. Do you think your personality on social media is like how similar is it to when the cameras are off and you're hanging out with, I don't know, your closest friends and your family?
I'm gonna be for real. I think that it's recently changed for me.
Hmm.
I I mean, I'm always been like an open book, so to speak. Like my friend Sydney, Sydney Butters, she's like, she talks faster online, JK.
You
I do
do?
talk really fast. I've been told I ramble and talk really fast. So my bad. But that's just like it is what it is. But I think I'm pretty what you see is what you get. But I would say that in the recent years, like in the like last 3 years, I feel like I do put a little bit of a guard up because not everyone needs to know everything.
Hmm.
And after you get burned in certain ways, shapes or forms online, you learn where your boundaries should lie.
So you
Let's just put it like
more
that.
recently put up more of a guard. You had less of a guard and you realize it's smarter to maybe build more of one? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely part of it. Yeah, for sure. 100%. I think that everyone should have a little bit of a guard up. And
Hmm.
that ties into what I said earlier about security because you never know who's watching.
So
And
which part of your personality have you decided that, you know what, I'm going to keep this piece maybe closer to my chest and more sacred?
um, I'm going to be honest. I think I'm just more about anything that happens to me in my personal life, whether it's like family, friends, or anything even like music related. I
Hmm.
don't just put it out there. I don't like say, hey, like here, listen to what I'm working on.
Hmm.
I don't do previews anymore to anything. It's like when it's ready, it'll be out.
Hmm.
That's like a boundary.
Hmm.
Or like, oh, I'm hanging out with a friend. Oh, where are you? I'm out with my friends.
Hmm.
That's it. You don't need to know where I'm at. You don't need to know where I went. Oh, you were gone for a week. Just was I was just busy. If I was
Hmm.
sick, okay, I was sick. Like you don't need to know. Oh, I had a 400-degree fever.
So
All this
there's an
stuff,
art
you
to what
know.
she's talking about, you guys. And by the way, Veronica, I just happen to be very similar to that. I'm the same
Yeah,
way with my personal life, but you can show your heart and your personality and connect in a really deep way to people without giving them all the details of your life. Okay?
exactly.
There's a difference, right? It's not you don't have to be so guarded that people that you're fake. You want to be authentic and you want to be yourself and you want to pour who you are, but there's a way to do that and connect with people and not give everything away.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly, you kind of nailed it on the head. You said it better than I could actually. Um like you're still authentically yourself. It's just you're a more reserved version of yourself.
Mhm.
And but for the most part, I mean, I have like Chico in my life, Sydney. I mean, they talk to me. Chico's met me in person. Like I would say I'm pretty much the
Shout out
same
Chico.
person. Yes, shout out Chico. I hope they would say that I'm the same person. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything that's misunderstood about you on social media? If you were like sort of to imagine that you're on the outside looking at your social media.
I
Um,
think Yeah, I think there's definitely one aspect to me. I
mm,
feel like I have a very fiery personality and I'm not afraid to say as it is sometimes. But I think that to some people, it comes off as me trying to be rude or me like being not argumentative. What's the other word for it? It's confrontational.
okay.
I think that it's okay to be confrontational to a point,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone has their own opinions on it, and that's totally okay. But, I think that for me, if you come into some part of my life where I could be, like, kind of
Like blunt?
more
Yeah.
blunt, people would be like,
Okay.
"Whoa, is there
Yeah.
drama going on?" And I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm just." But I think that also kinda ties into my background of who I am. I mean, I was kind of raised very, like, very Soviet, so
Yeah,
I feel
I'm
like I'm a little
curious
more
about that
cold.
actually. I'm curious about that. Like how tell us a little bit about the way you were raised. and where that personality comes from. Because I've seen a little bit of that personality. I guess the way that I register it as is that you are just very blunt, you're very clear. And I think it's a style of communication versus a personality.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's both. I think it could be, honestly, potentially it's probably both. Because I'm still getting to
Maybe.
know you as a person.
Maybe.
But to me, I think people communicate in different ways, and you seem like you're a very like direct, clear communicator.
I try to
Was
be, and
your
to some people, I think they find that to be rude or they just can't handle it, which maybe I just have to work on my like delivery to some certain people because everyone is different at the end of the day. But then also, again, everyone is different at the end of the day, including myself. So it's like,
right?
you would hope, that it's that East Coast girly. I mean, yeah, I'm a New Yorker as well. So my
You're
trifecta right here.
were you raised in New York?
I was raised in New York City. Yeah.
Okay. And the way you communicate, is that the way that your family was in the house?
I think so. I think my whole family is pretty direct, very blunt. So I think that that kind of ties into that. Yeah.
Excuse me, guys, sorry. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I think that a lot of the times the way that our family communicates with us is what ends up coming out in our communication styles as an adult in various ways.
Portions for sure.
Yeah, portions for sure, because I can be that same way where I will wonder, is someone trying to lie to me, or kind of like get away from a certain topic in a conversation. And as I've gotten older, I realize that they're not necessarily lying or trying to escape. They're just not, they process information maybe slower,
Right. Right.
and they need more time to have certain conversations in a direct way, where I think that that is maybe like, I see it as wasting time. But it's
Yeah,
like,
we're
it's
we're
which is,
very similar in that regard. I'm like
I
sitting here, I'm
mean,
like, I get it. I get
but
it.
like, I think that's how misunderstanding and arguments happen with people, right? Our experiences and the way that we
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
deal with those
but
moments.
yeah, but I feel like if you're also like now getting more aware of it, I feel like it's in some ways easier to like just give yourself that reminder and hopefully that person also understands that it's okay to be different and it's okay to process things differently, take your time. Could it be something that's uncomfortable to one or the other or both people? Sure.
Yeah,
But as long as there's respect in it, then I think that that's, you got to do with
I
what
agree
you're
with
dealt,
you. You have to be authentic to yourself. You have to say what you mean at the end of the
That
day
part,
too.
clock it. Is that what the
Yeah.
kids are doing these days? Clock it.
Yeah, this is the new thing, I guess.
Apparently, allegedly.
Do you guys, I think someone's really smart in my chat. I just have to shout out whoever it is that only sends me snowballs when I forget to hit rematch. So thank you, whoever's been doing that. I see what you're doing, and you're a very smart person. I love that. Um, when I have a question for you. So when you don't feel like turning on your stream or creating content, but you know it's important to, because that's how we stay connected with our community. What motivates you in those moments? Or I guess in general too. Like, what do you remind yourself when you're not in the mood, when you're not naturally motivated, but you want to keep yourself going?
You want the honest answer?
Yes, please.
When that happens to me, I don't want to do shit. I really don't. Like if I don't feel uh like I want to get on, I literally will rot, you know? I really don't want to do it. But if we were to talk about your point of what will motivate you, I don't think
So
it's
wait,
more
when you
than
don't feel like streaming, you just won't? You'll just let yourself have that day off? Is that, or will you still get
more
on
more
and
or
just keep it
less
more chill?
more or less yes, but if I do kind of push myself or there are those moments, which is what you kind of were referring to, I would say I'm just like, you know what? Get on even if it's for 10 minutes. And then if you don't feel it, just get off. The beauty
Mm,
of live streaming is you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's not something that you're obligated to just, do and work on. I mean, some platforms, yes, you have like certain obligations you have to do, but like you're your own boss at the end of the day. You make your own schedule. if you do not feel good and you cannot be online, you don't have to get online. Um, someone in my chat, Johnny, just said, "I seen you online having appendicitis." Yes, that is something that happened. I was hosting an event on the platform Hakuna. It was a talent show, and I was the host for it.
Okay.
And as the night went on, I'm sitting there like this in this seat, Geralda. I'm not even kidding. I'm like this. I'm in so much pain. My stomach hurts. And then came the nausea. And I
No.
was trying to keep it down. I was just trying to, be as I was trying to be as professional as possible. I was trying to just hold myself together. And then I was like, I need to bring two people on to be like co-hosts for a minute. I need to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry, guys. I feel so sick. I start vomiting. I don't feel good. I am like, at this point, kind of delirious. I call my mom, like, Mom, I'm having so much stomach pain. I'm very nauseous, but the pain is so excruciating. I don't know what's going on. My mom's like, you might be having appendicitis. And I was like,
Oh
oh.
wow.
And she's like, you should probably go to the hospital. I was like, over my dead body, I'm going to go to the hospital because I was like, I'm live. I have to finish this. And then I was also like, it's COVID. I don't, and I'm kind of a hypochondriac, so I was really nervous about going to the hospital. My mom's like, "Well, if you don't go, you are going to be a dead body." So my family friend wound up taking me to the hospital. I literally got to my live stream, and people who know me know I will never just get off a live stream like that. I will, like I said, I will pull through. So I just ended without saying a single thing. I'm like, I gotta go, guys. I'm sick. I get back on as I find out that I'm about to get wheeled into surgery, and there's like 80 people in my room. I was like,
Oh
"What is
wow.
going on?" I'm like, "Hey guys, so I'm drugged up. I'm about to go into surgery. Sorry guys, we're gonna have to finish this up in like maybe a couple days." And everyone's like,
Oh
"Are you
wow.
crazy? Like, just take your time to relax." So
So he
that
was
was
serious when he said you were really streaming during this. Like,
yeah, like that was my first time ever with learning how to set a boundary for myself because I had to take a couple days
hmm
to relax after that and
you
not
were like, you guys may want to see my every move, but I'm gonna heal and maybe not stream every moment of my surgery.
yeah, so shout out Johnny for pointing that out because that's something that's really I think important to tie into this because now if I don't want to stream, I'm not going to stream even if I have days that I'm demotivated, if I don't feel like I can do it, I'm not going to force myself because it's not going to be a good stream. But
Okay,
I must
interesting.
say, there have been moments where I did push myself to go live, and it wound up being one of the best streams I've had. For
Yeah,
example,
same.
in August, if you guys have been on here with me in August, and you know I had an insane day where I ended in the top three, I ended in podium.
Woo!
I wasn't going to go live that night. I
Really?
was like, I am tired. I just moved. I was dealing with a lot of stuff because, long story short, my stuff was nowhere to be found. I moved cross country. And for about a month, I didn't get any of my belongings. And it was very, very stressful. And at that point, I just got my
All
belongings.
your
And
belongings were missing?
yep.
Wow. And did you get everything back, by the way?
Yes.
We're
But
almost at the hot round, guys.
there was like, there was some damage, just so y'all know, there was some damage to stuff. So
No, I'm so
we're still
sorry.
working out the kinks of a lawsuit for that because that was really messed up what they did and what they were trying to charge me for it was insane. They were
Wow.
almost close to 10 grand. So it was very, very insane. But long story short, to get back
I
to
really hope that you get some justice for that. So
I
I'm sorry
appreciate it.
that happened to you. That's all. That's the worst
Yeah,
feeling, not having your things. I mean,
1,000,000%.
yeah,
1,000,000%. But to tie back to what I was saying, I was just like I said, exhausted. And I was
yeah.
like, I don't want to stream, but I was like, you know what? Part of me is still kind of itch to get
Mm-hmm.
on. So I was like, F it, let's just get on and see what happens. And next thing I know, I'm number one in the ranks. And I'm at like
Wow.
200,000 points on here. That's
So
a
some
lot.
that's incredible, and you weren't even going to come live that day. So some days, if I think the way that I do it, or because I put some thought into this also. I've had
Hmm.
days where I just didn't want to come on,
Hmm.
and the way I think about it is, if I'm on here and my vibe is going to have a negative effect on those around me, I need to not stream that day.
Yeah, I
you
agree,
know?
and I'm still
Um,
learning that.
yeah, I think like that's where I'm at, where I feel like if I can't come on and have a neutral or positive influence, or just, because I don't have to be great. I can be going through a rough time and come on here and talk about it, as long as I'm not taking it out on those around
Yes, yes. The trauma dumping is so real. And that's
me.
something that we also, I think, experience as live streamers. And maybe we do it
Yeah.
a little bit ourselves. We could be guilty of
Mhm.
that too. But yeah, it's important to, again, those boundaries for yourself and for your sake as well. So that also kind of, I think, ties into that.
Are the
So.
people in your daily life, like your family, your close friends, and maybe even the people in your, like the people that you date, supportive of you and being on social media? How has that affected your personal life?
When I started doing live streaming like full time, at first my parents did not understand it at all. They were like, "You just moved
Yeah.
to LA, you need a real job. What are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. And then the paychecks started coming in. They were like, "Proceed." You may proceed. And then they were curious too. So they've definitely made accounts and watched some of my lives here and there. Um,
Where did
so
your first biggest paycheck come from on social media? What platform and doing what?
I would say my first biggest paycheck. I'm gonna say You Now was my first paycheck, but my biggest paycheck was from Hakuna. So it was live streaming.
It was live
Yeah.
streaming. Was
Yeah.
it
And
gifts, subscriptions? What?
there was no subscriptions back then. It was all from support, yeah, from gifting.
Wow, gifting.
Mhm.
Incredible. Um, and okay, one piece of advice would you have for new streamers that want to be successful? One advice.
One piece of advice I would have is to s- just go live. It starts there. Someone said hire a lawyer. Um sorry, that threw me off. But just it starts with yourself. It starts with you just getting in front of the camera and going live and pressing that live button. Be yourself and don't be afraid to meet new people. Don't be afraid to network. Don't be afraid to um just put yourself out there a little bit. If you really want to do live streaming, do what you want to do. You know what you want to do. Don't say, "Oh, I don't know what I should do. Oh, I can't. I feel like I'm boring." Don't talk to yourself like that. You know who you are. You are with yourself every day, and I promise you, nobody's boring like that. Maybe it takes time to build the confidence in front of a camera. That's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But don't sit here and talk about yourself that you're boring. That's cap. I'm sorry. So it all boils down. I know I kind of gave multiple pieces of advice in one
No, no,
advice,
yeah.
but it all ties into the same point of just it starts with you. Just
Be
click that live
yourself, you
button.
guys. Just be
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Who you really are is who you need to bring to the table, and people
Yeah.
will find you. Okay,
Yeah.
we're at the hot round. Let's go.
Oh boy. Let's hear
Um,
it.
no, we just have a few questions for you.
Sure.
So, what has been your biggest mistake? We'll start off easy. Your biggest mistake as a streamer.
I think my biggest mistake as a streamer has been, you know what? Okay, we're just going to go out and say it. My biggest mistake as a live streamer in the very beginning was I feel like and if there's anyone out there who also had experience with making a lot of money from live streaming as a younger person online, I blew a lot of my money instead of being smart with it and investing in it. So I think
What'd you blow it on? Do you remember?
honestly, just LA lifestyle.
Yeah.
I was living in LA and I bought a lot of gifts for people. Like I bought
Mm.
my mom like this beautiful Swarovski necklace. I tried to get gifts for my family, my friends. I was more so giving, and then I also reinvested it back into the platform, and I wanted to support other people. And also, like, then just going out. I never was a club girl or anything, but like, I went out to like a lot of places and just bought dinner for myself and for others. And I was like, oh, if my friends want to see me, but they can't get to me, oh, I'll Uber you out. I'll do this. So it was kind of like reckless spending
Yeah.
and
Instead
not
of having a
really
plan.
yeah, and I think I think a lot of people who were younger and got to touch a lot of money at a younger age might know what I'm talking about. Like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
something that it's kind of hard to do. Ah, I really wish I didn't do that because
But don't you think it's
yeah,
good for your gut to have done it? Because I've been there also. I have that experience in certain ways.
yeah.
And I think it's been great for my gut to make the money, to lose the money, and to know what that felt like and what that was and how that happened.
Oh, for sure. And I have plenty of friends, unfortunately, who have also been in that same position
Mhm.
where I know that they've told me that they've also made tons of money and they blew all of it. So, knowing that I'm not alone in it, it's kind of like, it makes you feel less of like an idiot. Pardon my French, not calling anyone an idiot, but I know I felt very stupid. But it also just kind of goes to show that okay, you're not the only one who's made that mistake, but you've learned from it.
Yes.
And like what you just said, it's like it's a good thing in a way that it happened because it went from you making all that money to blowing it to knowing what it's like to lose all that and that just because you work for it doesn't mean that you should blow all of it.
Yeah, no one's talked about on the show yet, the money aspect in that way before. I think that's really interesting because you guys, if you think about all of the streamers on here, they may get a paycheck where you think I've never seen that kind of a paycheck in my life in one day. But what you have to take into account is they may not get that paycheck again in 3 months from streaming or from social media. It's not a sure paycheck. It's the job
That
security on social media is unlike maybe a lot of the 9 to 5s or corporate jobs that you're thinking of. So it could be a lot of money, but again, if you're young and if you're not doing the math, it's really easy it's easy to feel like you have so much more money
no,
than you
you
actually have.
are that is so spot on. And I was gonna say that like you could have that one big payday and then you might not see that type of payday for months.
Yeah.
So you need to really make sure you're saving that money and being smart with it. Like, and I could tell you for a fact I've had that happen to myself. And that's why I always say also, well, what I would always say to my hosts as well, is that it kind of goes back to the, don't put all your eggs in one basket, but also, um, not every day is going to be linear. Don't be discouraged if you have a bad day when you're live, when you don't make that much because it's not a linear type of job. What matters
Mm,
most is your consistency because your
mm,
consistency will still show you over time that what you're making, if you're trying to make this a full-time job or something that you do full-time, over time you will still see your, so to speak, like you're not plateaued, you're going up. It's
yes.
just you have to be careful with your spending. Don't be like me. And you have to be, how do I say this? Sorry, when you have two languages in your head, you're like, boy. Um, what basically what I'm trying to say is just be smart with your money. Um, don't give up if you have one bad day or two bad days in a row because you
Because we're
never
just
know when you could have a better day. Just stay consistent because that
right.
consistency is still going to help you build that
Yes.
community.
And
So
we're
that's
judging ourselves, our performance is not like based on maybe like conventional metrics as
Mhm.
social media people. So whereas people are clocking in and clocking out maybe and collecting a paycheck, here you may not make great money one day from gifts, but maybe you've tapped into a new community on the platform that you've never tapped into, and now you have the respect of that corner of the world on Favorited or on TikTok.
Mhm.
And now you have new support, and so that was a really
Exactly.
great day. So you have to know, to Veronica's point,
Exactly.
you have to know really like be fair with yourself, be kind to yourself, but have goals, of course, but make sure that you're not only basing your success on money, because if you're doing the right things, the money will absolutely follow. You just have
Yeah,
to focus on the behaviors and what that takes on a day-to-day
exactly.
basis.
You
Um,
nailed it. You nailed
have
it.
you used this app as a dating app, maybe by accident or on purpose? Have you met
No,
anyone? No?
no, but I have in the past for sure. My ex and I actually met through a lot live streaming platform like 2 years ago,
Really? Was it
three
long
years ago.
distance?
He lived like 2 states away. But yeah, it just didn't work out in the end, and I don't think I would do that again. Um,
What do you think if
but
you had to say a theme as to why your serious relationships haven't worked? Are
can
there
you
any
give me that again?
are there any themes, do you think, as to why you think that your serious relationships so far haven't worked?
Um, Honestly, I think I gave my heart to the wrong person, and that has affected me in a way that maybe I'm not fully healed from yet. So I don't think right now is the right time for me to date. And I
Mhm.
think because I was with my ex boyfriend for, in total, I would say about 2 years because we met in 2022. And it was like a very long thing, and a lot has happened, unfortunately. Um, and although I feel fine, I think I feel I'm fully healed. I think there's some parts of me that I don't think is ready for a relationship. And I think I also am somebody in relationships that I give so much of myself that I
Mhm.
almost have lost parts of myself, like the music aspect. And I have not released music, unfortunately, during that time. So to me, it almost, and people could disagree with me, to me, at the moment, my career is the most important thing to me. So dating or losing focus from that
Hmm.
is just not in the cards for me right now. So I'm totally fine and totally like okay with just not dating. I'm like completely, just like,
You don't feel the
yeah.
need to go from that situation into another. You think it's okay to have this space and time for
I think
yourself.
I think it's necessary,
Yeah.
honestly. I think it's so necessary. Um,
I think that's really healthy.
yeah.
And thank you so much for being
Yeah,
vulnerable, by the way, and
especially
sharing that with us.
yeah, no problem. I think that it's important to just be kind of candid about that stuff because I know I'm not the only person who deals with stuff like that. I'm human at the end of the day. Everyone's human. Doesn't matter where I'm at in my walk of life, everyone deals with stuff like this. And I think in my case, I'm just not in a position where I feel it is the time for me to give a part of myself when I need to work on my career right now and lock in my own future before anything else, you know?
So if you guys were
So
thinking about it, and if you were planning on using my interview series as a way to somehow connect with Veronica on that level, listen, she said she's not really looking, so you're gonna have to come to the table correct in a way that, I mean, is really gonna make an impression and make her feel like you're gonna bring all the value into her life. So how many other streamers do you have blocked in your block list?
I don't really block a lot of people, honestly. I don't
Under
care to
10
block people.
streamers are blocked? Under 10?
Probably. I don't think I've blocked this. I don't think I've actually blocked a single person on here. Maybe one or two like trolls or something, but I don't think I've blocked anyone on here.
But not other streamers. Okay, cool.
I don't think so. No.
Um, what is your type in a guy? Your dream
My
man?
type, um, oh my God, this instantly feels like I'm back on this. I was on a show called Bessie Picks Bay. Um,
Wait, what?
my friends, yeah,
What?
it was 17 magazine. Have you heard of 17 magazine?
Yes.
They did a show called Bestie Picks Bay where your bestie picks your boyfriend for you. And one of their questions to me was,
I'm looking this up.
oh,
Wait.
like, what are you looking for in a bay? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm looking for someone who's honest, who has like nice eyes, has to be funny. Like, that's literally like what I've
I'm
said
clipping
before.
that. Thank you.
Everyone's like dying laughing in my chat. Sydney goes, ideally breathing. I mean, yes. Credit score, someone said. Oh my god, these comments are hilarious. I cannot look at you guys right now. I'm
What's
gonna
your come on, Veronica? We want to know.
honestly, my type, I'm a sucker for someone who, if we're talking physical features, someone who has a nice smile. I really like light color eyes. I'm just a sucker for someone who has light color eyes.
Chevy said he's white and
My
has good credit and wants to know if
th-
that's
my,
cool.
my friend goes tall. Yeah, I mean it's not that hard to be taller than me. I'm only 5'2" on a good day. So if you're taller than me, yay. I do like me a good musician. I really do. Someone that understands my field and
Okay.
my craft. I think that that's very important. Um, I feel like everyone's saying tall, dark, and handsome. No, no, guys. Yes, in some regards, but also no. I think attributes wise, someone who is mature can have honest conversations not only with me but with themselves.
Mm.
I think someone who has actual goals and not just wants to like do whatever comes that day. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, oh yeah, Jen.
Direction. Someone with direction.
Yes, that's a really good way of pulling it. Yeah. Jen said it really great.
So
Patient,
not
kind,
you,
and has goals in
Chevy.
life. Yes, I agree with that part. Yeah. But yeah, I always get attracted to musicians. I don't know what it is. It's
Really, that's
always
your
the
type,
musicians.
musicians.
I've
It's a
dated
soul connection. You connect in that way that I think speaks
someone
to
that
you.
understands what I do,
Yeah.
like when it comes to music, when it comes to social media, as long as they didn't understand, if they're in the entertainment industry themselves, I think that for the most part, they'll understand me. I
Mhm.
I like low key, like once saw an actor, like I was kind of like dating them and they acted like they liked me. So not doing that again. Um,
They
uh,
acted like they like
but
you is crazy.
I mean, I'm not wrong. Sorry, not sorry. You just were not nice at the end of the day.
Well,
To
you
me.
didn't have your bestie pick Bay that time.
I wish. Yeah, no, that show was really funny in itself. It was all really just funny and games,
Maybe
but
you guys, maybe we need to Google her. I can't believe you were on one of those. I love those shows
I'll
were
have to
crazy.
send it to you after
Can you
this.
please? Will you please
Let
send me
me
a
check
clip?
something really quick. Okay, I'm on 9% battery. I just wanted to make
Okay,
sure I have
real
battery.
quick, the last thing. Thank you so much for being here.
No,
We
thank you for
want to
having me. This is so fun.
we really want to know about your music and where we can find your music and what the latest is.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about this. Thank you for asking about my music. If you guys know me, I do music. It's literally what I eat, sleep, live, and breathe. You can find my music on any streaming platform: Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, wherever the hell you like to listen to your music. Just look up Veronica Frey. It's just my name. You'll see my stuff. I released a song in the beginning of the year that's kind of been like a soft launch of the music era that is to come. And I'm very excited to announce. I announced it a few days ago on my Instagram, but I have a brand new song, brand new single coming out on January 2nd called Forever 15. It's dedicated to my
Ooh,
best friend. Um, she is no longer with us. Unfortunately, she lost her battle with mental health.
I'm sorry.
It's gonna be 14 years to the day I'm releasing the song. So this is kind of my, in a way, a tribute to her. I loved her very dearly, and I know that there are other people out there who have also lost loved ones. So this song is also dedicated to anybody who has lost a loved one as well. So I'm very
When does
excited
it come
though.
out? One more time, the title and the date.
Forever 15 out January 2nd, and I'm super excited. It'll be out everywhere. And
Forever
there's
18.
a lot more to come. I'm
January
very
2nd, you
excited.
guys. We're gonna do Forever 15. Everyone, please stream the song about her best friend. That's beautiful.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for being here. And
Thank you.
if you guys want to get to know Veronica more than this interview, then please listen to her music because that's where she really is pouring her soul out.
With all
Um,
this new stuff coming out, yes, I am
I'm
so
so
excited.
excited. Okay, well, please come back. We'll have to have you back and get to know you more. But I
Yeah.
really appreciate you taking your time.
No, thank you so much
And
for doing this.
I will send you a link to this interview when I post it on YouTube too, so that you have it too.
Yes,
So,
please do. I would love to
um,
share it out.
and you look amazing, by the way. We love your
Stop.
outfit, your hair, your
So do
shirt,
you.
everything.
So do
So,
you. Thank you. I
thank you,
appreciate it.
Veronica. Thanks for
Thank
being
you
here.
so
Have
much.
a
And I
great
just
night,
gotta
guys.
say also, you are so good at this. Like, please do not stop doing this. Like, you
Oh,
are
thank
so
you
good
so
at this.
much.
I know you
Thank
said you're just
you.
starting your journey, but like, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like, keep doing this. Like,
Oh,
you're
thank you so
really good
much.
at it. So,
I really enjoy it,
yes.
so that means a lot to me. Thank you for saying that.
Of course, and I really enjoy, like, chatting with you. I feel like we almost have, like, a podcast going on, you know?
I know it comes so easy. We're lucky. We're
Yeah.
lucky. It's nice when you meet people you have natural
Amen.
chemistry with. So.
Amen.